Leon Loco here, doing something a little bit different. One of my very cool viewers asked if I could do a walk around of my 916, and here it is. So the answer is yes. As I've said on several occasions, if there's anyone out there in the audience who would like me to do a particular video, I'm happy to oblige if I possibly can. And yeah, this is my 916. I've done a few videos of this bike over the last year or so that I've been motovlogging, and today we're just going to have a bit more of a closer look at it, as well as that thing, the Panigale. Gonna have a look at that because I think it might be interesting to kind of showcase the difference between this bike and this bike, both of which are separated by about a little over 20 years, and both are pretty interesting Ducati icons. So first, let's have a look at the 916. In many ways, this bike saved Ducati's bacon. When it came out, it was widely regarded as one of the most beautiful motorcycles ever made. You can certainly see what everyone's been on about for the last 25 years. As by anyone's yardstick, it is a very pretty thing. The single-side swing arm. Ducati's not the first one to have done this, but I would say they're the first ones to make it popular and usable on a sport bike. Keep in mind, the 916 competed quite successfully in World Superbike under the control of fairly awesome, legendary riders like Foggy, Carl Fogarty. One thing the 916 really brought into vogue is the twin headlights. Prior to this, a lot of sport bikes, they had like one big single, almost car style headlight, and Ducati was the first to do this particular layout, and a lot of sport bikes for a lot of years kind of knocked that off. As you can see, it's the chromoly trellis frame here, which Ducati was kind of famous for a very long time. Only very recently on the Panigale here have they gone to a full monocoque where basically the front and the rear of the motorcycle is bolted right to the engine and there is no frame as such. So that's interesting. Quite simple instrumentation. Straight up rev counter, speedo. As you can see, I put over 23,000 miles on this bike since I bought it. Just over 10, actually, no, it's been longer than that. About 15 years ago since I bought this bike. And the astute of you will notice a Valentine 1 concealed display there because I used to commute on this bike, so I had a radar detector on it, which got me out of a few jams, I don't mind saying. And a few other bits and bobs have been added to it over the years. I've got these CRG dial-a-click levers, which I like quite a bit. The stock ones are a bit meh. And the Olin steering damper, which I highly recommend. The stock one is just not particularly awesome. And what else have I done? The Termes, obviously, those are not stock. And I would say the 916 really made Torrignoni a household name among, sports bike enthusiasts anyway. And the really clever you will note that the tail has a 996 sticker on it. That's because this tailpiece is from a 996. The one that actually came from this bike from the factory, I took off and then promptly ran it over with a car. So yeah, always check your mirrors, kids, or you'll be swearing for a very long time, as I was. Another thing I can probably mention is this bike is an original monoposto, meaning it only has one seat. A lot of the 916s and 996s and bikes of this era were bipostos, and the primary difference is the subframe here is aluminum on the monoposto and it is steel on the biposto because that's a whole lot more weight. Hence the bike is slightly lighter in monoposto form. One of the most interesting things about the 916, at least from my perspective of making videos about it, is that it is really hard to capture how this bike sounds. All the videos I've done, it does not sound anything like what the bike is like to ride. So I thought I'd try that with a much better camera and microphone today, so hopefully you can get some idea of what it really sounds like. That kind of clunkier hearing is the clutch. The current Ducatis no longer do this, but this is the dry clutch sound. If I pull it in, it'll shut up a little bit. That led to many people who did not know Ducati and did not know dry clutches to ask if the bike was broken, you know, as you're sitting there at a stoplight. So one of the other interesting mods I've made to the bike is I added a shift light up here, which I kind of like, and I've also made it possible to turn the low beam headlight on and off. So if I hit that one, it turns on the instrument gauges, the shift light, and this little LED halo that I stuck in there just so I had some kind of a running light so idiots would see me. But that doesn't actually turn the low beam headlight on, which this one does. And that's an HID upgrade. But you'll notice the high beam is still not on. On the 916 it's one or the other. And that's something that will lead quite a lot of people back in the day to stop you at traffic lights and say, hey, do you know your headlight's out? It's like, no, actually it's not. But thanks all the same. So I hope I'm able to capture what this actually sounds like in person, but it's a really weird bike to record, so let's just give it a go. Yeah, so every time I've tried to record this bike, you know, in a video, it has this really weird kind of tone to it, which it does not sound like at all in person. Most bikes are easy to record, this one is not, so I'm still working on that. One day I hope I can get a really nice recording of this thing, really on it, because that sounds quite special. Yeah, this is the Ducati 916. I've owned this bike for over 15 years now, I think. I've put over 23,000 miles on it. And it's just been a wonderful part of my life. I've gone to a lot of places. I've ridden this bike from New York to Florida. I've ridden this bike into Manhattan when I used to commute into the city for work for like 6 years on this bike. And note that it has a stock seat, stock bars, so none of this make it comfy crap. The ergonomics in this bike are a joke. They are, if you're not racing, that's all anyone cares about. I mean, comfort it does not exist. That's something that has changed quite a lot in the current Ducati Superbike world. But I didn't really care. You know, it was more important for me to have an interesting, distinctive bike that I really enjoyed riding. It was really special to me, you know, very visceral. The sound, the sensation, the handling, the brakes were all just so much better than anything else I'd ridden at the time. And I said, screw it, I'll just put up with it and ride into the city, because who cares? So yeah, been with me for many years. I very much love it. They're becoming quite rare now. You don't really see them out in the wild too much. But, yeah, Ducati 916. Hey, you like this video? Well, go hit the like button, and if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel.